Welcome to Ease Podcast, where minds ignite, exploring learning day and night. Educators thrive, young minds grow, in science, tech, and art skills flow. Classroom pride to make us survive. Ease of funny minds, so future strive. Welcome to Ease Podcast.
This podcast is produced by EASE, the European network of STEAM educators, uniting STEAM educators from Europe and all over the world. This product may contain traces of artificial intelligence inside. Join us and find a handful of educational resources at easeeducators.com.
Hey everyone, and welcome to another deep dive.
Yeah.
Today we're going to be looking at how AI is changing education, especially for the generation that's like growing up surrounded by tech.
Right.
So we're talking Gen Alpha, born
Yeah.
after 2010, and even younger Gen Beta.
Yeah.
I've got some really cool stuff to dig into today.
Oh, cool.
A research study straight from the source in Scottsdale, Arizona schools, and then a brochure
Okay.
from a place called Alpha School
Yeah.
that's doing things very differently.
Interesting.
So are you ready to unpack all of this?
I am. This is such a rapidly changing field. It's so fascinating to see how educators are adapting
Right.
their approaches.
Okay, so let's jump right in.
Yeah.
This research paper calls these young learners digital natives,
Mm-hmm.
which makes sense.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
Right.
they've literally never known a world without AI.
It's true.
Think about it.
Yeah.
Smart toys,
Mm.
personalized content,
Oh, yeah.
even the filters they use on social media.
Great.
AI is like woven into their lives from day one.
Right. From the beginning.
And that presents like both incredible opportunities
Yeah.
and also like unique challenges.
Yeah. For sure.
You know, because like traditional teaching methods
Right.
might not be the most effective
Yeah.
for a generation that's so accustomed to instant
Mm.
feedback
Yep.
and personalized experiences.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's get into the nitty-gritty.
Okay.
The researchers in Scottsdale actually put AI-powered learning to the test.
Interesting.
They integrated AI tools into different subjects and tracked student progress
Okay.
for 6 months.
6 months.
And the results were pretty impressive.
Okay.
Yeah.
How?
Across the board, students showed significant improvement.
Mm.
But what's particularly striking is the impact on special education students.
Oh, wow.
Their performance increased by a whopping 24 to 30%,
Wow.
depending on the subject.
That's huge.
Those numbers are amazing.
Yeah, they are impressive.
But it's not just about grades, right? The study also looked at like how engaged students were,
Mm-hmm.
like how much they were actually like into what they were learning.
Yeah.
And across the board,
Uh-huh.
behaviorally, emotionally, and even in terms of how they were thinking about the material,
Oh, wow.
students scored incredibly high.
Okay.
On average, they rated their engagement level
Mm-hmm.
at a 4.4 out of 5.
Great.
That's a pretty solid indication that AI isn't just boosting their scores.
Right.
It's actually making learning more enjoyable.
That's the hope. Yeah.
And this engagement translated into like real results.
Okay.
The study found that students were spending significant time on platforms like Dreambox.
Yeah.
We're talking an average of 6.5 hours a week
Wow.
for special ed students.
That's a lot.
And their completion rates were through the roof.
wow.
Think about it.
Um,
92.4% of regular ed students were actually finishing their work.
Amazing.
Now, I have to
Oh,
admit,
uh-huh.
I got really excited when I came across this Alpha School brochure.
Mm.
They seem to be taking this whole AI and education thing
Okay.
to like a whole new level.
Interesting.
Their approach is quite radical.
How so?
Instead of just sprinkling AI into like a traditional school day,
Yeah.
they've completely reimagined the structure.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's mind-blowing.
That's
They've squeezed core academics, math, science, English,
right.
into just 2 hours.
2 hours.
That's a dramatic departure
Yeah.
from the typical 6-hour school day.
for sure.
But the key here is that those 2 hours are powered by AI,
Okay.
right? We're talking personalized learning plans.
Okay.
AI tutors giving each student customized support.
Oh.
It's like having your own personal AI learning coach.
That's interesting.
And their brochure makes some bold claims
Okay.
about the effectiveness of this approach.
Like what?
Oh yeah, get this. They claim that their students learn 2 to 5 times faster
Really?
than those in traditional schools.
That's a lot faster.
And get this, 96% of their students say they love school.
Wow.
I mean, can you imagine that?
That's a high percentage.
And when it comes to standardized tests,
Okay.
they use the NWEA MAC, which is a nationwide benchmark.
Yeah.
They say their students are doubling the average annual increase in scores. If those claims hold up,
Yeah.
they're on to something truly revolutionary.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
While those claims are certainly intriguing,
Yes.
it's important to approach them with a healthy dose of skepticism.
Right. We have to see the data.
We need to dig deeper and understand how they're measuring
Yeah.
these outcomes.
Absolutely.
I'll definitely be getting into that.
Okay.
So this 2-hour learning block,
Yeah.
it leaves a lot of time for other things. Yeah,
I was just thinking that. What do they do with all that extra time?
exactly. Alpha School dedicates a significant portion of their day,
Okay.
4 hours,
Wow.
to what they call life skills workshops.
Life skills workshop.
Now, these aren't your typical soft skills workshops.
Okay, so what are they?
We're talking real-world, hands-on experiences designed to develop
Yeah.
concrete, measurable skills.
Interesting.
It's a fascinating approach.
Yeah.
They seem to be recognizing that in an increasingly automated world,
Right.
certain skills will be crucial for success.
Yeah. That makes sense.
And the examples they give are pretty cool.
Okay.
One workshop focuses on financial literacy,
Mm-hmm.
and they had students pitch business ideas to actual investors.
Wow.
And get this,
Okay.
they raised $10,000.
Really?
I mean, how cool is that?
That's amazing.
We're talking middle schoolers
Wow.
landing real investments.
That's really impressive.
There's also a coding challenge where students program self-driving cars.
Wow.
It's incredible to see how they're encouraging practical application,
Yeah.
hands-on learning.
It's cool that they're doing that.
Okay, but here's what I'm really curious about.
Yeah.
If they're replacing traditional teachers with AI tutors for academic subjects,
Mm-hmm.
what's the role of human educators
Right.
in this model?
That's a big question.
They call their educators guides,
Guides. Okay.
and their primary focus is not on academic instruction.
Okay, so what is it?
So less about teaching math equations and more about...
Yeah, what is it more about?
Exactly.
Okay.
They describe the guide's role as providing motivational
Okay.
and emotional support.
Interesting.
So helping students navigate their learning journeys,
Mm-hmm.
fostering their passions.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big shift
Yeah.
from the traditional teacher role.
For sure.
It is a fundamental shift.
Yeah.
They're essentially moving from knowledge provider
Right.
to learning facilitator.
That's a big change.
Okay, I'm already thinking of a million questions for
Yeah.
the guide model,
Me too.
but we've got a lot more to cover.
Okay.
Welcome back to your deep dive. We're continuing our exploration of AI's impact on education. And honestly, I'm still thinking about those Alpha School workshops.
It's a very different approach, isn't it? It really highlights the shift from passive learning to active learning.
Yeah, it's like they're saying, don't just read about it.
Yeah.
Go out and do it, which I think makes a lot of sense, especially for these like tech-savvy generations who've grown up interacting with technology
Yeah.
in such a like hands-on way.
Exactly. Think about it. These kids have been playing immersive video games, building virtual worlds, and creating content online since they were little.
Yeah.
It's only natural that they'd thrive in a learning environment that embraces those skills.
And what's really interesting is that Alpha School seems to have a pretty clear vision of what skills are going to be like essential in a future where AI is transforming like everything.
Right. They're not just focusing on the obvious tech skills like coding or robotics. They're emphasizing things like critical thinking, problem-solving, adaptability, the ability to learn quickly.
Right. Those are skills that are going to be valuable no matter what field you go into, right?
Uh-huh.
It's like they're preparing students not just for the jobs that exist today, but for jobs that haven't even been invented yet.
It's about equipping them to be lifelong learners,
Yeah.
to be able to navigate a world where the only constant is change.
Okay, we've talked a lot about the potential upsides of AI in education, but I think it's also important to acknowledge that there are some potential downsides we need to be aware of.
Absolutely. As with any powerful technology, we need to approach AI in education thoughtfully and carefully.
I'm wondering about the human element. Can AI really replace the connection between a teacher and a student?
That's a big question, and there's no easy answer. AI can definitely personalize learning and provide individualized support,
Yeah.
but it's unlikely to fully replace the role of human educators.
Because teaching isn't just about delivering information, right? It's about sparking
Yeah.
curiosity, inspiring a love of learning, and creating those aha moments that can like change a student's whole perspective.
Precisely. And those are things that AI, at least in its current form, can't fully replicate.
Right.
Human connection, empathy, and the ability to inspire are still crucial in the learning process.
It's interesting that even Alpha School, with its focus on AI tutors, still seems to recognize this. They have those guides, remember? Their role is all about providing motivational and emotional support.
It suggests that even in a highly tech-driven learning environment, human interaction is still seen as essential.
So maybe it's not about AI versus teachers, but rather AI and teachers working together to create a more dynamic and effective learning experience.
I think that's the key. It's about harnessing the power of technology while still preserving the human element that's so crucial to learning.
Okay, let's zoom out for a minute and think about the big picture. We've got this generation of digital natives who are growing up in a world that's increasingly shaped by AI. And we've got this whole field of AI in education that's evolving at like lightning speed. What does it all mean?
It's a complex landscape, and I think the most important thing is to be engaged,
Yeah.
to ask questions, and to participate in the conversation about how we want AI to influence the future of education.
Because the future isn't something that just happens to us, right?
Right.
We have the power to shape it,
Absolutely.
especially when it comes to something as important as education. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on all of this. What stands out to you? What are your hopes and concerns? Let's keep this conversation going in part 3, where we'll explore what this all means for you, the listener. Welcome back to your deep dive. It's time to wrap up our exploration of AI and education, and wow, we've covered a lot.
Yeah. From Scottsdale to the Alpha School, it's clear that AI is already changing how students learn.
And we've talked about a lot, like the potential benefits, like personalized learning and those future-ready skills, but also the human connection piece,
Right. Exactly.
which is so important.
Yeah.
So now it's time to bring it all home.
It is, what does it all mean for you, the listener? How can AI help you reach your full potential?
It's a good question.
AI is a tool, right? It's not about replacing teachers or, turning kids into robots.
Right.
It's about creating learning environments that are, more responsive to individual needs, more engaging, more effective.
Imagine a world where every student has access to personalized learning experiences, where they can learn at their own pace and in a way that like best suits their learning style.
And where they're not just, memorizing facts, but developing those skills like critical thinking, problem solving, and a love of learning that will last a lifetime.
That's the dream.
That's the hope.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you with this thought. What if the future of education isn't just about what we learn, but how we learn?
What if it's about embracing curiosity, adaptability, and resilience, the skills we need to thrive in a world where change is constant?
Thanks for joining us on this journey. We hope this deep dive has given you some things to think about and maybe sparked your curiosity about what the future holds for the world of education.
Welcome to Ease Podcast, where minds ignite, exploring learning day and night. Educators thrive, young minds grow, in science, tech, and art skills flow. Natural pride to make us survive. Ease opening minds, so future strive. Welcome to Ease Podcast.
This podcast is produced by EASE, the European network of STEAM educators, uniting STEAM educators from Europe and all over the world. This product may contain traces of artificial intelligence inside. Join us and find a handful of educational resources at easeeducators.com.